and that was located over the Barnstable area, moving northeast. Now it's picked up 40 miles an hour. So radar has indicated, has picked up rotation. So where we're looking at some of the next areas, we'll be hitting Barnstable, Yarmouth, Sandwich, Dennis. We're looking at noon in your area. Brewster, Harwich around 12:05. So I'm going to put some tracks on this so we have a little bit better idea exactly where this particular cell, actually let's go back, let's do this again. I'm going to give you guys a better track on this. Here we go. All right, let's track this one out with the timing. All right, 12:02. Looking at Sandwich, 12:05, Barnstable, 12:07, Cobb's Village. If you were in any of these locations, this cell is capable of producing a tornado. We've got some heavy winds right now. Make sure you get to the lowest area of your home. Give yourself some more space between yourself and as many walls as you can between you and the outside. So we've got heavy winds moving in with this. We've got some rotation going on. We've had a southeast wind today. Now we've got these fronts moving through. We've got a west wind starting to move in behind it. That gives that rotation. So now we got some rotation in the atmosphere. We've got these heavy storms. We've got some updrafts. These storms are also capable of producing hail as well. So again, make sure you move to an interior room. Get to the lowest level of your home. This is going to be in effect for the next 30 minutes. It expires at 12:30. Make sure you're in a sturdy building. Avoid the windows. Even with the winds moving through, here's this rotation. I've got the rotation popping up on the radar right now. Let's go in and take a look at this rotation. Go ahead and zoom in a little bit more. We'll get some more scopes on this. See what we can see a little bit closer. So Mashpee, we've got a little rotation indicated on the radar. Again, this is moving northeast. It's moving pretty quick, 40 miles an hour. Again, this tornado warning has been issued by the National Weather Service out of Boston. We're looking at tornado indicated rotation. You can see right here near Mashpee, we've got some rotation indicated on our radar. So I'm going to time these out for you. So if you are in the Mashpee area, make sure you get to a sturdy location, a lower level of your home. Get away from the windows, away from doors, get away from, give yourself as much space as you can between you and the outside. So the more walls, the better. So just go ahead and just hang tight if you're in any of these locations. Put some more tracks again. Again, this is moving northeast. It's moving pretty quick. So we're looking at, here's some of the times just to kind of give you an idea with this last scope I pulled up. Just if you're in any of these locations, Farmersville, 12:04, the Springs, 12:07. So again, the next 30 minutes, this is in effect. Now this storm has been tracking at about 40 miles an hour. So at 11:53 a.m., this severe storm was capable of producing a tornado, and that was located right here around Mashpee, just to the south of Barnstable County, excuse me. And so this tornado warning is for southeastern Barnstable County. If you are in this area, definitely find your safe place. So we're looking at this being southwest of Barnstable, so you can see here on the map. Just give us a little bit directly where this is at. A couple of areas, 12:05 East Sandwich, 12:07 Scorton Shores. Any of these locations, make sure you find yourself a safe place. Radar indicated rotation around the Mashpee area, so you can see right here what we're looking at. We'll try a different track and see if we can do this right here. All right. 12:03 Mashpee, 12:05, let's see, 12:07 Farmersville, 12:11 East Sandwich. So in this area, make sure you find yourself a safe place. Let's actually try to go zoom in on some other scopes here. I'm going to go back one here. Let's take a look really quick at our warnings here. Here we go. So let's move on over to this area. So that tornado warning here, you can see on the map just exactly where we're at, where that radar has indicated rotation. Again, near Mashpee, we're looking at this tornado warning in effect until 12:30 p.m. today. Make sure you find yourself a safe place. This thunderstorm has been capable of producing a tornado right around the Barnstable area. It's moving northeast at about 40 miles an hour. And the radar has indicated rotation, as you can see right here on the map. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more for you so we can get a closer view on this. So if you are, let's pull up some of these actual areas. We're looking around 6. So if you're anywhere near 6A, it's crossing over right now. So we're going to pull in a little bit more to see where that rotation is. Right along 6, just about west of Barnstable right now, just kind of in between these two cities here. So make sure if you're in any of these locations, find yourself a safe space right now. I'm going to find the lowest level of your home. Make sure you get away from windows. Get yourself as many sturdy walls in between you and the outside as possible. So find the most interior room of your home. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. We'll see if we can track some of this out, some of the areas that we're looking at it coming into. Here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to track this one right here. Again, this is moving northeast. So we'll get this out for the next couple of minutes. Here's just some locations that are right in the line of this rotation. So if you're in any of these locations, Plowden, 1205, these might be really small towns. But if you're anywhere close to some of these small areas, just make sure you are, don't go to the windows. Just even with the winds moving through right now, we're having gusty winds. This storm is moving at 40 miles an hour. So we've got some really heavy winds that are pushing it along. So that means we could have some flying debris. That's very dangerous if you get caught outdoors in that. But again, you know, debris could be flying, could break windows. So just, again, get away from the windows. Make sure you give yourself some space between you and the outside. So I want to be in a sturdy building. If you can get to the lowest level of your home, if you have a basement, fantastic, go there. If you've got just a single or two-story, go to the bottom level of that home. Make sure you keep as many rooms, as many walls between you and the outside, between now and the time that this is over as we're watching this track through the area. We'll zoom back out on this so we can take a bit of a look. I'm trying to follow this on the radar. I'm going to toss this back to the studio to Tara Lynn. Tara Lynn, go ahead and take it from here.
All right, Skylar, thank you. Yep, we're back in the studio now. I'm Tara Lynn. We are tracking severe weather alerts around the area as we come on the air at noon right now. We're going to take a look at this video from Fall River this morning. Now, this is from Pleasant Street that you're seeing. There was some street flooding in that area, and that forced police to close part of the road. This comes as much of Bristol County, Mass, has been under severe thunderstorm warnings this morning, and we continue our team coverage now. We're going to send it out live to ABC 6 News reporter Yanni Trigelis. He's been out on the road tracking the severe weather all morning. Yanni, what can you tell us? What are the conditions like out there?
Well, Tara Lynn, one of those tornado warnings in effect just north of here in New Bedford earlier today. I want to give you a look here at the scene as they've been dealing with much of the issues all throughout Bristol County, like you were talking about. Cars getting stuck in the road here on Orchard Street. You can see one of those cars a little further up. The drivers there actually just pushing it out of the water that was stuck there. Again, they've been dealing with a lot of that rain, that flooding, that tornado warning, as we said, was in effect just north of here earlier today. Want to give you a look at a scene as well in Fall River, like you mentioned, where much of the same that a lot of the people across southern New England have been dealing with all throughout the morning. That heavy rain leading to flooding on Pleasant Street. Police having to close down the road there for a long time this morning. Cars getting stuck in the road there this morning. Driving through it, that water was about, I'd say, 1.5 to 2 feet deep. Some people even making the trek, deciding to walk right through that as well. But again, heavy flooding through the area, that water pouring over the road onto the plaza over there. Again, heavy rain throughout the morning, causing that severe flooding warning that was in effect. Again, the tornado warnings in effect just north of New Bedford here this morning as they continue to deal with the aftermath of that rain that came through the area. Now, all all seems to be clear here right now, just after noon. But again, that tornado warning in effect earlier, that flooding really causing a lot of problems for a lot of drivers. Again, if you're still going through the area, a lot of these roads still dealing with the aftermath of that water, so be careful if you are on the road. For now, we're live in New Bedford. Yanni Trigelis.
Again, if you're in any of these areas around the Barnstable area, this storm is tracking pretty quickly. It's been moving northeast at about 40 miles an hour, so moving along quite quickly. But again, we've got radar indication of rotation around the Mashpee area. So, let's talk real quick about what the difference is between a watch and a warning. So, my absolute favorite analogy is a cupcake warning and a cupcake watch. And so, yes, we laugh now. This is a very serious matter. So when you have a watch, you're watching it. You got the ingredients. You're looking at. You got all your ingredients set up, and you're ready to make your cupcakes. And so you're watching it. You put it in the oven and it starts to bake, so you're watching it. A cupcake warning means that cake, that little cupcake, it's ready to go. You're ready to eat it. That means we've taken all those ingredients, we've put it together, and now we've got it. So a watch means that the whole area it's got the conditions there. We've got all the ingredients that we need. It's ripe. We're ready to go. We've got those ingredients for these tornadoes or severe weather. And then the warning, that is when you need to take place. You need to have your shelter. You need to go into place, wherever that may be, lowest level of your home, away from doors and windows, especially when we're talking about tornadoes. Because tornadoes, even though one may not touch the ground, we got high winds moving in with this. And so aloft, these winds are moving at 60, 70, 80 miles an hour. So these winds are moving very quickly. We've had a southeast wind today. Those are shifting now. We've got this front moving through. And then right behind it, we've got a west wind moving in. So anytime you have that west wind moving in, and then on the right quadrant or the lower right quadrant of these storm cells, if you've got that southeast flow, that heavy moisture flow, and you got that west air coming in, sometimes usually a little bit drier, that helps give you the rotation. And then if you get a little bit of a north, you get a colliding of a cold front moving in from the north, that helps with the hail, that helps with rotation. So if you get that spin up in the atmosphere. So again, I mean, take it really serious. Even if one may not touch the ground, we've got heavy winds moving in with this. So again, this tornado warning was issued by the National Weather Service. This is going to be in effect until 12:30 today. I'm going to zoom in a little closer so we can see exactly where this is at. It looks like some of that rotation has started to die down a little bit, which is good news for us. But still, winds are still moving along pretty quickly. It was indicated right around the Mashpee area where I pulled up the rotation on the radar right now. Looks like the heaviest cell is crossing over 6, just to the west of Barnstable right now. But this is starting to take a little bit of a different track right now. I think it's starting to move a little more east to northeast. So on here, so I'm going to go ahead and just track this one out, giving it more of an east and northeast approach, just to give you guys a little bit of an idea of what we can expect if you're in any of these areas. Again, this is just going to be, just be cautious here, just because it looks like this track is moving a bit. So now it looks like it's starting to shift a little bit more east-northeast. So we're looking at 1212 Scorched Shores, West Barnstable, 1214. So if you're in any of these areas, 1229 North Dennis. Now this is going to be expiring at 12:30. So you can just see right here, it is moving very quickly. But again, if you're in any of these locations, make sure you find yourself a safe place. You want to make sure you have yourself, as much distance between you and the outside. So the more walls, the better. Get into the most interior area of your home. Heavy winds can still throw debris around, can break windows. You can have damage to things. We could have damage to trees, power lines, whatnot. So just make sure you're keeping yourself safe really is the biggest concern here. Whether there is an actual tornado or not, it's better to be safe as we're heading into this heavier storm system. Again, that tornado warning issued at 12:30 p.m. Make sure you're staying safe. And again, finding those most interior rooms. So this is going to be expiring in 16 minutes. Again, National Weather Service out of Boston, the Norton area, they did issue this statement. And so tornado indicated, radar indicated, And so this is looking at the biggest impact, flying debris. That's just going to be dangerous around your area. I'm going to send it back to Tara Lynn in the studio, maybe get a check with Yanni to see what's going on outside. Tara Lynn?
All right, Skylar, thank you. We continue our team coverage now. Again,
Stand
if
back.
you are in any of those severe thunderstorm warning areas, tornado areas, please get to a center hallway, basement, lowest floor of your building, or a bathroom. Let's send it back out to Yanni Trigelis. He's out there tracking the severe weather. He's been out there all morning, and he joins us live now in New Bedford, where we showed you that earlier video of street flooding. Yanni, what can you tell us now?
Well, Tara Lynn, we've been talking about that flooding all morning long all across southern New England. I want to give you a little bit of a closer look at it here on Orchard Street. You can see the road just now is starting, it seems to be drained a little bit. This water used to be coming up over this curb just about 2 minutes ago, but now starting to clear out. As you get a look really throughout the road, you can see some people starting to come out of their homes there. The water ankle deep right now. Again, it was higher just a few moments ago. We've seen some cars trying to drive through it, some of them successfully and some of them not successfully. But the water, again, looks like it's starting to drain here right now in New Bedford. Maybe these cars starting to be able to get back on the road again after they've been stuck for a little while. Again, this rain came down all morning long here in the Bristol County area. We've talked about that flooding here in New Bedford, in Fall River as well. Now dealing with the aftermath as that water finally starts to get drained, and so people can start really getting out of their homes and, getting their cars out of this water. Again, we've been following this all along the morning and now into the afternoon. We'll be sure to keep you updated on the aftermath of this heavy rain that came through the area. For now, back to you in the studio, Tara Lynn.
All right, Yanni, thank you. We are going to send it back to meteorologist Skylar Spindler, who is tracking this severe weather. Skylar, what's the latest right now? Where are the tornado warnings? Where are they heading now?
Yeah, right now I'm looking at this particular cell here. It's moving northeast at about 30, 35 miles an hour. I'm actually trying to pull up a little bit more of these tracks of what exactly we're looking at here. Again, this is the area that we're looking at. It's moving just right there by the Barnstable area. So this warning has been issued by the National Weather Service, and this is going to be in effect until 12:30 today. So we got 13 more minutes as we are tracking this particular tornado warning. Now, just a few minutes ago, we had our radar indicating rotation on there, and then the National Weather Service issued their warning for this area. We're looking at southeastern Barnstable County. Now, this warning is in effect for that area specifically right now until 12:30 p.m. At 12:02, we had a severe thunderstorm that was capable of producing a tornado. So this is why we are bringing you this information now, and make sure that if you are outdoors or you've been outside, make sure you get into an area where you're safe. So you want to keep all of those, you want to keep the lowest interior room of your home, get into that area. You want to, whether it's a basement or the first floor level, make sure you're there. Make sure you have plenty of walls between you and the outside. Sometimes bathrooms aren't great because you got windows in bathrooms. So try to find a closet indoors. Try to find something in the middle of your house. Again, more walls the better, because that, just in case these winds are getting pretty heavy. I'm going to zoom in a little bit on this area so we can maybe put some tracks on it and get a little bit closer to this area so we can see exactly where it's crossing over at. And again, it's starting to head over towards the Cape. So it's the good news, it's starting to get out of here a little bit. Again, it's moving at 40 miles an hour, so it's really starting to push off very quickly offshore. Now we can start to see that pushing out of the area. I'll put some more tracks on this in this area right here. So yes, it definitely has a little bit of that rotation going on as it's starting to move offshore. So here's two of the areas. So Barnstable, really we're looking at 12:25 p.m. That's why this is extended until 12:30 today, just because again, radar indicated rotation in those areas. So it looks like we're starting to see die down just a little bit. So that's some good news for us here. I'm going to go ahead and clear some of this off and go ahead and take a look at a different view so we can see what else is going on outside. So again, if you don't know the difference between a watch and a warning, know that a watch is when you have all your ingredients. So if you are baking a cake and you have your flour and you have your oil and your eggs and everything that you need to bake your cake, it's all sitting there, it's ready to go, and we're going to put it in the oven. And then a warning, that's when it's all ready to go. We're going to sit down and again, finding a location that is the most walls between you and the outside. Now this system that's been moving through, we've got some heavy winds moving through it. So if we look at those winds aloft, they're moving at about 60, 70, 80 miles an hour aloft. So this system is moving through pretty quickly. And so we've got some, one of the big issues is the wind pushing through that will be creating debris. So you can have debris lifting up off the ground. It can break windows. We could have damage to trees and power lines. So again, just better to be safe, to be indoors and find that space that keeps you protected from the elements as we head into the day. So right now it looks like this is starting to, die down a little bit. Again, it's starting to move off the Cape area. So it looks like it's the main area, the area that we saw the heaviest rotation. Really right now looks like it's starting to get closer to moving offshore. So that's some good news for now. As we head through the rest of the day. Now, here's the deal as we start to head through the afternoon. Once this moves off, you can kind of see we're going to start to get some sunshine coming out today. And as we start to get some more of that heating and we get some sunshine coming out here and there, we get more instability. We've got enough lift in the atmosphere, and then we've got these winds pushing along, so we could see more heavier cells pop up later on this afternoon, especially in the afternoon heating as we head into the afternoon. So definitely keep your eyes to the sky as we head through the rest of the day today, because we could see some more of these isolated areas popping up with rotation. So definitely make sure you have a plan. If you don't have a plan and you're not located in these areas of the path, make sure you have a plan for future. We're going into a heavier season where we can start to see that, and you want to make sure that you are prepared when something like this does occur. So when we have these watches and warnings pop up, make sure you're paying attention. You know the difference between the watch and the warning as we start to get through the day. And then when we do get these warnings that come up, then we know that you can be prepared for what's going on right now. So again, National Weather Service, they issued a tornado warning, and that is in effect until 12:30 today. Right now it is including southeastern Barnstable County. So we have about 9 minutes remaining on this. It's moving east now, so see it's starting to shift a little bit, moving east at 25 miles an hour. So the biggest hazard on this was the rotation. We saw rotation on the radar earlier. Looks like that rotation's starting to die down a bit as it's starting to get closer to the shoreline area. So maybe getting a little bit of topical interaction here. So as it starts to move offshore, so that's good news for us. I'm going to send it back over to Tara Lynn, check in with Yanni and see what we're seeing outside right now.
All right, thank you, Skylar. We are going to send it back out to ABC6 News reporter Yanni Trigelis. He's been out there doing the hard work, tracking the severe weather all morning, and he joins us live in New Bedford. Yanni, what can you tell us?
Well, Tara Lynn, you remember just about 20 minutes ago, or even less than that, when we showed you that heavy flooding here on Orchard Street. Now you can see as it started to be drained, almost all completely cleared out. Cars able to now start going through the road again. But as you can see, that one car, that was the car that you saw covered in water just about 20 minutes ago. Again, that water now completely gone. The fire department was here helping drain everything out, kind of get the neighborhood back going again. And now this is again the aftermath of that severe thunderstorm warning, a tornado warning in effect just north of New Bedford earlier today. Again, a lot of rain making it tough for people on the road all across of southern New England. We were in Fall River earlier where we saw some flooding over on Pleasant Street. Again, here on Orchard Street, that flooding that has now cleared out, really causing a headache for a lot of people heading onto the roads. But again, seems to have subsided now, that water starting to drain into the roads, and people able now to get back outside, back on with their day. Again, we're going to continue to track this all throughout the day. Skylar will have more coming up, and of course all throughout the day. For now, we're live in New Bedford. Yanni Trigelis, ABC 6 News.
Well, starting to see the sun come out there behind Yanni right there. Okay, and now we will send it back out to meteorologist Skylar Spindler. Again, she has been tracking this severe weather all day, tracking these tornado warnings. Last update, they are moving out of the Cape. What can you tell us now, Skylar?
Yeah, I'm actually pulling up the radar right now. We've been watching these starting to shift, moving off to the east right now. And I'm going to take it back a graphic here so we can take a look at what's going on now. So, yes, good news. Yes, starting to get some sunshine moving out. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning right now in effect till 12:30 p.m. Just want to touch on that one really quick. And that one is going to be covering, it's going to be expiring in 5 minutes. That area, again, for the Barnstable County. So again, for that area, we've got that severe thunderstorm remaining for that area. We have this tornado warning that was in effect until 12:30 as well, same area. So again, if you're in those locations, make sure you find that lower level of your home. You want to get yourself as many walls in between you and the outside. And so we'll go over real quick what a watch and a warning is. So if you have the watch and you are doing your cupcakes, you've got all the ingredients for your cupcakes, so you're watching your cupcakes, getting ready to put them in the oven. When you take those cupcakes out, that's your warning. That means everyone, you get around the table, let's have our cupcakes. It's time to have our cupcakes. That means it's time to have a plan. So know the difference between your watch and a warning. Right now we have those warnings issued. Let's actually take a look at what else is going on, what we can expect right now for us as we head through the rest of the day today. So we still are in that marginal risk category. This was issued by the Storm Prediction Center. This is for today. We're going to get that sunshine, and here's those. Here are those fronts that have been moving through. We had that warm front. We had the cold front behind it moving through. That's what's giving us the problems right now. We got really high dew points. We got a lot of instability in the atmosphere. We got the sun coming out. As the sun starts to come out, we're getting more instability. Expect some afternoon and evening storms as well as we get through the rest of the day. And again, we'll keep you informed and stick with us throughout the day for more details on what's going on here. We'll keep you posted as anything changes. Tara Lynn, do you want to take it away?
Skylar, thank you. The news, it continues first at 4, then